Welcome back to my channel, everyone. So today I am turning myself into Vanessa, aka Ursula's alter ego from The Little Mermaid. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue down my eyebrows. I have never done this before, so please do not judge. But I did watch a couple tutorials, so I figured I would try it out to create this more cartoony look. But I will link down below the tutorials I watched so you guys can see how to do it properly, because my one eyebrow, I would say, it turned out to be like a C plus, and the other eyebrow was like a D. But yeah, so I'm just putting a lot of glue from a glue stick on my brows and then brushing it up to lay them flat and laying a layer of the e.l.f. translucent powder on there. And then I am just going back and repeating this process over and over again. I watch some people only do it twice, some people do it 3 times, some maybe even 4. But basically it is just glue, powder, glue, powder. And unlike me, make sure that your glue is dry before you start doing this, and don't use rolling motions to put your powder on, because that's how I messed up my one brow. So after a cold brew break, I'm just going to start patting on some powder foundation to put that on top and kind of block out my brows some more. I highly suggest getting an orange concealer as well, because that will help block out the color, and once you have them laid down flat, it will help kind of cover it up and you won't see the color. While I let all of that kind of settle into my skin, I'm going to put on the Angel Veil Primer from NYX. I just found this the other day. I'm so happy I did, because I kind of found out that you're supposed to shake it before you use it, and it works much, much better now than before. And now I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match in W2, I think is what it's called. It's like ivory or something. And I'm going to pat this on my face with a beauty blender. You can use a brush. I was just worried about moving around the glue too much because it's kind of flaking off in some spots. But I am just patting this on my face, kind of beating in my brows a little bit more so they lay flatter. And of course covering my whole face with this. I have a love-hate relationship with this foundation. Tell me down below what you think about it. Sometimes I feel like it's so watery, like it doesn't really ever set on the skin, and it just always seems wet, and then you have to let it dry for a really, really long time, and it gets streaky. I don't know, it kind of oxidizes weird too. So yeah, let me know down below what you think, but I'm just adding some more powder foundation on top of my brows, and I added a little bit more liquid foundation as well, because this stuff takes forever to blend out. So you have to kind of build and add as you go along, because it gets so streaky. I might get rid of this foundation. So now I am putting on the Fit Me concealer over my brows, and as you can see, when you start to put all the pieces together, they really disappear. Of course, unless you're like me and you have one brow that wants to be difficult. But yeah, I'm just covering this with concealer, and then I am literally beating it into my eyebrows with my sponge, trying to get it to cover up as much as possible. This little sponge is just from Walgreens, and I'm switching between concealer and powder like I did before with the glue and the powder. It's all about layering and getting the right proportions on your face. Like you see here, I had to add more concealer to the one side. Sorry if you can hear my dog moving around, he's sitting next to me. And then beating it back into my face with more powder. I use the e.l.f. translucent powder. I don't know if I already said that. But yeah, I am just going to put more concealer on, working with the direction of my brow. So now I'm going to add my new eyebrows with my dark brown brow pencil. And I cut a lot of it out here because I ended up going back and fixing them towards the end. And I don't remember if I filmed it or not. But just draw really thin, like arched, kind of rounded, cartoony brows. And you'll basically get the idea of the character. So now I'm taking Parfait Amour from MAC on a fluffy brush, and I'm just blending that all over my lid and what would be my natural crease and natural brow bone, because you want your eyes to look really big and cartoon-like. And so I'm just brushing this on with a fluffy brush. I've been really loving my fluffy brushes lately. But I'm just going to blend this out so that my eyes have that nice big cartoon shape. Now taking Bedrock from Makeup Geek on another kind of crease brush, I'm going to put this right on top of where your actual brow is, and this will give us a nice defined gray crease and also help cover up some of the brow hairs. This is just a matte brown, by the way, and now going to create our new brow bone highlight. I'm using Shimmer Shimmer from Makeup Geek. I'm just blending that right under what would be the arch in the beginning of our new brow. Add a little bit of color back into the lid. I'm going to use Phantom from Makeup Geek, and it just kind of gives us that really like bulging eyeball that a lot of cartoons have, and it provides a nice highlight. And of course, I'm putting white in the waterline to make our eyes look bigger. For the lashes, I'm using this really thin pair that I have. They're just very light. They're not very thick. You can see in pictures that her eyelashes are very long, but they're not super, super thick. So these lashes are kind of delicate and fit that look. And these ones are some of the ones I got from IMATS I can never remember the name of, but they work really well and they are silk lashes. I don't use mink lashes because they are expensive. Plus, I don't like using animal products. So now I'm going to put on a little bit of mascara just to blend the lashes. And now probably the most important part is the highlighting and contouring. I'm hitting all of my high points with Mary Luminizer, but I'm doing it a little more exaggerated than I normally would, just so it has that cartoonesque shine. And I'm using overexposed on my cheekbones because the reference pictures show that there's not a lot of highlight on the cheekbones, but more on the chin and nose. So now using a matte bronzing powder, I'm going to cut out my cheekbone, and this is a lot of bronzer, I'm not gonna lie, but it helps make that shape because Vanessa's face is very angular as opposed to Ursula's, and I have more of an Ursula face than I do a Vanessa face. So I'm just going to cut out my cheekbones, and she also has a really kind of pointed chin, so I am going to create that shape. And I know it looks weird right now, because it kind of looks like I have a beard, but I promise once it's all blended, it looks really good. So I'm just going to blend this all out and make sure that we have nice cheekbones and a nice nose, and I put a little bit on my temples just to mask it. If I had time today, I definitely would have put my extensions in to get a fuller look, but you guys will be able to see on Instagram when I post the picture how she looks, and you can kind of compare. So I'm just blending this out, which is the main key to this, is just super, super blended out contour. So now using a orangey toned lip butter, I'm using Vienna from Ulta. I'm just going to put that on my lips. And for my cheeks, I'm using just a light blush because there's not really a blush to this look. And I'm just using an angled brush to blend that in. This one is from Makeup Geek. I'm pretty sure it's Promise Ring. And that is basically the entire look. I hope you guys enjoy, and maybe you can use this for Halloween. And I will see you next time. Bye!